Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is on me putting my UMIperfomance tubular K-member, upper lower A-arms, upper A-arm bracket, and my LS spindles and brake calipers. Basically the whole front end is going to be brand new. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get into today's video. Okay, so this is basically everything that's going on the car. Like I said, everything will be brand new. Every bolt, everything's going to be brand new. And also, I highly recommend UMIperfomance. That's the only thing that's going on my car, and the only thing that's going to go on her car. I've heard good stuff about other companies like BMR and stuff like that, and Spoof, I think, or something like that, Spoof, and Midwest Chassis and stuff. But I've always preferred UMIperfomance. So if you want any suspension stuff, I would highly recommend them. And I'm also upgrading to the 98 to 2002 LS spindles and brakes. That way I have more stopping power, and they're better than the LT spindles. So what I'm putting on today is, of course, upper A-arms, tubular K-member. And also, if you do any of this, I highly recommend getting the upper A-arm bracket from UMI, because it's brand new, obviously. Then it's also got 3 adjustment holes, so you can adjust your front suspension even more. And it has a leak hole right here, that way water will leak out. If you've ever taken your K-member off, you'll notice up here at the top, it's always rusted and falling apart. So this hole helps prevent from rust and stuff, and it's a nice, good upgrade. Then also got my lowering springs and all the bolts and everything. So here goes nothing, I guess. So I'm gonna take the car, push it in the center. I'm gonna turn the car. That way I can get my cherry picker and lift the front end. Then I'm gonna take the front bumper off. That way I can lift it with the cherry picker. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, then I'll get back to filming. Okay, so I got the car turned, angled in my garage. That way I can get the cherry picker and lift the front end. Then I went ahead and took, the front bumper off and put the ass in on blocks. If you've never pulled a K-member, or not pulled it, but dropped the K-member or any of that before, it's pretty simple. It's only 6 bolts on the bottom. There's 3 18mm bolts on each side. Then you got your strut bolts, which is 8 bolts. Then you have to undo your steering knuckle. Then it all just basically falls out. It's a little bit more to that if you have the motor and everything in there, but obviously I don't have the motor in there. And also, you always want to get the hind end up off the ground a bit, so when you pick up the car, your bumper don't hit the ground and start breaking your bumper and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and unbolt everything and try and drop the K-member out. Okay, so I got the K-member out. Honestly, that's the first time I've ever had one like flip on me, but they are a little wobbly. If you know of a trick or anything to keep it all like stiff and single pieced, I guess, together, then comment below, because I've never figured anything else out. But it's pretty simple. Only hard thing, or not hard thing, aggravating thing is the steering knuckle. If you have a rag joint one like mine, like this one, it's all wore out and a piece of crap, I highly recommend getting an LS steering knuckle. That's what I'm doing on my car. So now I'm going to go ahead and start putting on the tubular K-member. So I'm going to lower the car back down and start putting that on. So here we go. Okay, so I lowered the car back down, and as I was saying at the beginning of the video about the upper A-arm mounts, you see how this is like collected water and rusted out over time, and it's real brittle. I would highly recommend replacing this if you do any type of suspension work, because this is like the main part that I guess would take all the abuse, as you could say. So that's all rusted out, and you can see up under here it's starting to rust. My car ain't that bad, but I have seen some that has rusted all the way through, and again, you don't want that to happen, because that's where all your suspension bolts up to. So I'm going to get some sandpaper and I'm going to sand this down and paint it. So I'll do that, then get back with you after I do that. Alright, so I got the K-member installed. I just got it snug. I ain't got it torque to spec. That way I can put the rest of this stuff on. But I highly recommend like having a friend or your wife just help guide it up. Or if you have a lift, that makes everything a lot easier, as of course anybody would know that. But looks really good. Also, don't forget to put your washer back here. I really don't know why they have a washer there, but it says to put it there, so put a washer there. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting the upper and lower A-arms on. Okay, so I actually got this side put together mostly. I wanted to do this first besides filming it and acting like I didn't know what I was doing, but I really don't know what I'm doing. It's the first time doing it. But I'm going to actually get new wheel bearings. These will work just for letting the car sit in here, and I will be getting the new shocks. Then other than that, everything will be all brand new up front. I had a big problem yesterday with this bolt. So that bolt and that bolt is the same size. This one's shorter and one's longer. The shorter bolt will go in there just fine. The longer bolt will not go in there just fine. So when I put the longer bolt in there, I don't know if it's just a malfunctioning like the little coupler or what. So it kept pushing the sleeve out. So I talked to Ryan that owns UMIperfomance, and he said that he's gonna send me another coupler and another bolt. So I'll just swap that out because it's just stuck like that. It won't move at all. So when you actually have it on, you'll just be able to sit here and move it like this, like so. So I'm gonna go ahead and videotape me putting this side on. So here goes nothing. Okay, so finally got the lower A-arm, the shocks, the spring. They got the upper A-arm on. I'll probably have to loosen that a little bit. But one thing I don't understand, I don't know if it's just because there's no weight on the car, but the lower A-arms are not moving at all. That's why I can take the jack and jack up right here and it's just solid. I don't know what I've done wrong, but it looks pretty self-explanatory of how this goes together. I don't know if the shocks are just under a lot of pressure and there's really no weight to the car. There's no motor or transmission, so I don't know if it's just the shocks are wore out. So I'll be replacing those anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and put the spindle on. Then I'm going to have to take a wheel bearing off this old Camaro because the other used one I have ain't really working. So here goes nothing. Alright, so finally got everything bolted on and back together. Looks really good. Tubular Camaro looks really good. A lot more room than having the actual stock camera. Again, I highly recommend UMIperfomance. I only had that one little hiccup with that bolt in the corner over there. Ryan that owns UMI said that he will send me another bolt and a little sleeve. I'm not too upset about it. I'm quarantined anyway for 2 weeks or so. And all this is actually just handmade, so human error, of course, nobody's perfect. So here's a before and after. So only thing I have left to do is I gotta get my shocks and the upper A-arm shock mount where the bolts actually come through right here. So I'm gonna get that and shocks. Then I'll get 2 new wheel bearings, and after that, everything in the front end will be brand new, all brand new bolts, everything. So I think it turned out pretty good. But make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I know it's the first video I've uploaded in a while, me actually working on the car. Like I said, I'm quarantined because there's coronavirus going on and I had nothing else to do. So now me and my wife is going to go up to Charlotte and pick up my intake for being powder coated. I got it powder coated lime green, so it will actually be this color. I thought that would look pretty cool when you open the hood and have the lime green intake. I know a lot of people won't like it, but it's different. The whole car's nothing but being different. But make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next video.